I want to welcome everybody. I am Nikki Gray. I am the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Medicine Hat in Southeastern Alberta. Thank you all so much for joining us today. The Community Foundation, I think with this fall grant, will now have reached probably close to 14 million distributed to organizations across the region since establishment in '92. That's great and all, but it is because of our donors and these organizations who are receiving grants today that are the true heroes. They're the ones that strengthen our community, and without them, we wouldn't be here. So to start the afternoon in a good way, I wish to acknowledge that the land that we stand on today is part of the traditional territories of the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, Stoney Nakoda, and Tsuut'ina nations, as well as the Métis people. I always experiment with this a little bit on how do you make a personal connection with my land acknowledgement. And so bear with me with this. It's the first time talking about where I grew up. But I also carry with me a personal gratitude for the farmland that I grew up in Saskatchewan. This land was historically cared for by the Cree and Saulteaux peoples. That early connection to the land reminds me that stewardship, respect, and relationship are responsibilities passed through generations. With gratitude, I honor the elders and knowledge keepers, both past and present, who continue to guide us in caring for this land and for one another. We are honored to welcome, it was several, but they weren't all able to make it. So a few special dignitaries from the City of Medicine Hat this afternoon. As I call your name, you can give a little wave or stand up, and we can hold applause until all have been announced. Please welcome Councillor Yusuf Mohammed and Councillor Dan Reinish. I also wish to extend our appreciation to Mayor Lindsay Clark. She sends her regrets due to her prior commitments. If I've missed anyone, I don't think I have. I think we're okay. I'm happy to introduce Tyler Posick with JMH. JMH has been sponsoring our Chair's Reception for a number of years. We could not do it without you, Tyler, without the team at JMH, so just really appreciate your ongoing support and for being with us today, so come on up.
Next year I'll sit further away. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks so much, Nikki. JMH has been supporting the Community Foundation for, just about since 2010, so 15 years, which is hard math-wise because the 90s was still 10 years ago, so I'm struggling with exactly how that works. But the Community Foundation, they inspire everything across the community. They're a pillar. Even at JMH, they're just down the hall, so it's a wonderful building to be a part of, great community organization, and they're just fantastic. I'd like to congratulate the Community Foundation for another successful year of granting and all the grant recipients. Thanks so much.
I'd now like to invite Julie up, who is our vice chair. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for being with us today on this beautiful snowy day. Driving here, the trees, just amazing. So anyway, thank you, welcome, and good afternoon. This is our 26th anniversary Chair's Reception. Can you imagine? That's amazing. And I'm honored to be here representing the board with you. The Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta is pleased to support vibrant, healthy and caring communities across our region, and it's fairly extensive. Our mission is to foster meaningful connections between donors and local charities for the permanent benefit of Southeastern Alberta, permanent benefit. What makes our foundation unique is that donations are never spent. So the money that you give is with the foundation forever in order to grow and gain more interest, really, in order to support the community in perpetuity. And a lot of donors, I don't think, when they're perhaps thinking of giving to the foundation, don't realize that their money stays in this region forever, and it helps to support the community growth. So I just think that's so important. And today, we will witness some of this inspiring community philanthropy. Now, the foundation was founded by a local rancher named John Ignatius in 1992. He gave an initial gift of $25,000, and it's 33 years later, we now have a total endowment of approximately $32 million. Amazing. Yeah, I agree. And this endowment allowed us to distribute over $568,000 this fall. So you see what I mean? The money grows, the giving to the community grows. And this afternoon, we'll celebrate some of these organizations that will be receiving our community and donor-advised grants. Additionally, we'll be hearing from two charities of the impact of receiving the past community grants, the Medicine Hat Women's Shelter Society and SafeLink Alberta. So that's exciting, they'll be here soon. Events like this would not be possible without the generosity of our sponsors, and you've just heard from Tyler. So again, Tyler, we thank you. We thank your firm, your constant supporters, and we really love you. Now, I'm just going to skip past Tyler's notes and go back to my own. We have some of our board members. We have a fairly large board. We have some of our board members with us here today, and I'm going to just ask if you will wave your hand or, stick your hand up in the air when I mention your name, and then if you don't mind holding your applause. I think it's important for you to know who our board members are. So our board chair, Kyle Pudmell, was not able to be here today. Myself, our treasurer, Byron Johnson, is here. There you are, Byron. Secretary Glenda Hawthorne is away on a trip. Ahmed Kassam from Brooks. I wouldn't want to drive on the highway either. Dan Kammerer is here. Dan's over there somewhere. Thanks, Dan. Tyler is here. You just met him. Don McLennan is not able to be with us. Jim MacArthur. Jim, where are you? There he is, Jim MacArthur. Jesse Prince over here. Thank you, Jesse. And we're missing John Hughes, Don McLennan, Inga Ellison from Brooks, Robert Simmons, Heather Cook, and Natalie Von Tripe. Natalie, you're over there. Thanks, Natalie, and thank you all the board members. We also have a few of our grants committee members here today, and they're the people that really look at the grant requests, and really, I always call giving out grant money gut-wrenching, because every application you receive, you want to give them the money. Except that the ask is way bigger than the pot, because the pot never quite meets the ask, and so it's so hard because everyone is so worthy. Anyway, grant committees that are here today, if you don't mind waving your hand, I've got Hannah Miner. Hannah is right here. Jamie Nelson back there. Thanks, Jamie. Jesse Prince, who's on our board, you met already. Myself, and Sarah McKenzie right in front of me. Thanks, Sarah, and thank you all to the grant committee members. All of these people volunteer innumerable hours to the foundation, so we thank you for volunteering your time. I'd also like to thank the staff, and especially the staff, for putting their dedication into this event and all the events and all the work of the foundation. So if you don't mind just standing when I mention your name, and then we'll applaud afterwards. So we've got Nikki Gray, of course, who you all know, our executive director. Rayanne Falk, who's our foundation services coordinator. She's hiding there. She is way back there. Emily Conley, our grants and communications coordinator. Helen Nicholson, who's our Regional Development Coordinator. Thanks, Helen. And Nicole Nichols, our Community Fund Coordinator. I don't know if Nicole's here. No, okay. All right. Well, if you could also join me in applause for these wonderful people. All right, Emily, it's your turn. I'm going to ask Emily to come forward and introduce our impact speakers for today.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. So today we're going to hear 2 stories from recent community grants recipients to share the impact that these grants have had on their organizations. So first, I would like to invite Natasha Carvalho, the Executive Director, and Vanessa Anstey, the Shelter Supervisor from the Medicine Hat Women's Shelter Society. And they're going to speak about 2 projects, actually, that they were able to complete at their newly renovated Phoenix Safe House. The first project is for new beds at the Safe Shelter, which received $10,000 in our community grant in spring 2024. And then the second project was a new shelter oven, which received $9,400 in spring 2025. So I will welcome to the stage Natasha and Vanessa.
Thank you so much for having us. I just was going to give you a little update, and I'm going to turn it over to Vanessa to tell you about impact. But as you can appreciate, the Medicine Hat Women's Shelter Society relies heavily on donations and community support. So we really want to thank the Community Foundation and everybody involved to consider granting us twice in a row like that. That made a big difference for us. We launched a big capital campaign a couple of years ago to the tune of $8.5 million, and it was a bit daunting and a bit overwhelming, but we've had some really great community support. And we've managed to raise almost 6.5 of that already. So we've got just under 2 to go. So things like this make a huge impact being able to do that. We were struggling for a couple of years on whether we were really ready to build a new shelter and if that's where we were at. But unfortunately, with just the numbers and the stories and the stuff that we're seeing out in community, we really just needed something that would be here for the long term and for the future. And we just knew we needed to bite the bullet and take the big leap into renovating and expanding. So it's turned out beautifully. I'd invite any of you to come and see it if you'd like to. It's really just been able for us to know that we're going to be here for the long term for people who are experiencing family violence and that they know they have somewhere to go. And now we feel very comfortable to say that we're an accessible shelter and we have things that make a difference, like bathrooms in the bedrooms and extra bedrooms and all those kind of things. And I think that's just been really important. We're really thankful for that. So Vanessa is our shelter supervisor off Phoenix Safe House. I'm going to let her speak to you about the impact.
Hopefully, I'm gonna have to lower it a little bit maybe. So like Natasha said, my name is Vanessa Anstey. I am the Phoenix Safe House Shelter Supervisor. I've been with the organization for 11 years. 11 years today, actually, which is pretty cool. Thank you. I've worked in the shelter in a few different capacities the last 3 years as a shelter supervisor, and I supported our clients and our staff through the transition of the renovations over the last couple of years. So I want to talk a little bit about what some of the differences were and how this has made an impact to the community and those that we serve. So prior to the renovations, we had 9 total bedrooms. That means 8 upstairs, 1 on our main level. That bedroom that was on the main level was the only accessible bedroom in a shelter setting in the community. So that bedroom had 2 beds in it prior to the renovations. So the other emergency shelter only does not have an accessible bedroom. So prior to the renovations, we had 1 bedroom with 2 beds, and that was all we were able to provide to the community in terms of an accessible bedroom. And that bedroom was occupied pretty much 100% of the time, especially in like a post-COVID world. With the completion of the renovations and the generosity of the Community Foundation, we now have up to 13 beds on our main level. So that has increased exponentially. So prior, like I said, we had 1 bedroom. Now we have 5 bedrooms on the main level with a capacity of up to 13 individuals. All those bedrooms have bathrooms in it, and 3 of the bedrooms are completely accessible, which means it has accessible bathroom and fixtures and things like that. The impact of this means that new moms that come into shelter that are fleeing family violence with their infant can be on the main floor accessible to support from staff. It means that individuals who come to us from the hospital after an assault do not have to try and go upstairs. It can be close to staff for additional monitoring, crucial support and well-being checks, and have those accessible beds available to the community. We've already witnessed the impact this has had in addressing the needs for accessible spaces for our community members. We also have 7 bedrooms on our second level as well. One of those bedrooms can house a large family of up to 9 to 10 individuals, which means that a large family who may not be able to find space in another shelter, it's hard to find a bedroom of that availability for a large family, can find a safe place to land with us and move forward in their journey. I also wanted to express some gratitude for the support and being able to provide us with a commercial stove and oven. It was a wonderful upgrade from the appliances we had previously. We are also very fortunate to have a cook that helps to provide healthy meals and comforting meals during the week. So having the commercial oven and stove means that when we are nearing capacity of individuals in shelter, which definitely does happen, we now have more than enough space to be able to cook in large batches for a full house. So whether it be a hearty lasagna or a soup or fresh baked treats by our wonderful volunteers, forgive me, bellies are kept full. We know that healing connection can happen in the kitchen, and we look forward to seeing what the possibilities become in the future. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Natasha and Vanessa, for sharing the effect that our community grants had not only on your organization, but just the individuals using the Safe House. I would now like to invite Marie Tunisu from SafeLink Alberta in Medicine Hat to share the impact of their project enhancing essential services for marginalized communities in Southern Alberta. This project received $10,000 in community grants in fall 2024. Let's welcome her to the stage.
Someone left their glass of water. I don't know who it is. Is it yours? No. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marie. I'm the manager for Medicine Hat Support Services at SafeLink Alberta. And over there is Megan. She's our director of programs. She's here for mental support for me, speaking to a crowd, which is not my favorite. So I'm going to mostly stick to my notes here because otherwise I tend to stray. I have the gift of gab. We're really grateful to the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta. Your ongoing partnership and the support that you've provided through your community grants has been absolutely fantastic, not only for us at SafeLink Alberta, but for so many well-deserving organizations and initiatives around the community in the region. It's really an honor to join you today and to share how your investment has made a real human difference in the lives of the people of Medicine Hat. For those of you who may not know us, SafeLink Alberta has been serving Calgary and Southern Alberta for more than 40 years now already. We've been operating in Medicine Hat for about 16-ish years now. We've moved locations a few times. We're in the flats right across from the CP Rail office now. Our mission is to reduce the harms associated with sexual activity and substance use through low barrier, non-judgmental, and informed programs and services. We work with people who are often overlooked and underserved, people who are experiencing homelessness, poverty, substance use, stigma, or chronic health challenges. In Medicine Hat, our drop-in center has become a compassionate hub where people can access safer sex and safer use supplies. They can access testing for sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections, such as HIV, syphilis, there's a syphilis outbreak right now in Alberta. Get tested, people. Hepatitis C, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. People can come to learn strategies and build skills to keep themselves safer and improve their health outcomes. They can also access basic need items, emotional support, and systems navigation. Our vision is very simple at SafeLink Alberta: healthier, more empowered, and more inclusive communities. The CFSCA grant that we received last year, it allowed us to do something that's really, really important. It allowed us to keep our doors open and maintain staffing. No small feat. This allowed us to continue offer essential services that could continue operating at full capacity. It seems that there's always more and more demand and more need and less capacity. I'm not only talking about us, I'm talking about the vast majority of the nonprofit world here. Over the 8 months of this grant period, a total of 197 unique individuals came through our doors to receive items that were purchased through the CFSCA grant. The items were food, hygiene, clothing, coffee, water, backpacks, and other essentials. Many of these items simply were not available to many of the folks who came through our door. And the need continues to grow. Every week, we see more people who are living without shelter, struggling with illness or injury, or facing barriers to even the most basic of resources. As many of you know, we're currently operating the only daytime drop-in in our community, and our numbers of drop-in visits have more than doubled since last year at this time. So we're very busy. This grant that we got from CFSCA didn't simply provide socks and snacks and coffee and hygiene supplies. There's kindness and dignity in the provision of these items. Those who are warm, dry, and fed are significantly better positioned to engage in conversations and actions related to their health and wellness. If you're cold, and you've got soaked feet and your teeth are hurting and you haven't eaten, it's really, really complicated and complex to be able to make any balanced and informed decisions, make good choices, based on everything that might be going on in your life. With the stability of this funding, the staff were also able to connect people to health and social supports, such as housing outreach, addiction services, transportation to appointments, and medical attention. These are the connections that lead to real long-term positive health outcomes for our folks. Now, rather than telling you from our perspective, I wanted to share the words of 4 of the people who were directly impacted because they express it far better than I ever could. Here's my first story. It's a quote that someone wrote for us. I appreciate all the services SafeLink has to offer me and my husband. I have come in and was in a position of needing odd items, gloves in the winter when we both had severe frostbite. When we had soaked our feet, we needed socks, and it was so appreciated. My shoes had walked away from my house, and they happened to have a pair that I was so grateful for. Anyone going through life's difficulties are treated so well, and where a coffee on a bad day is so greatly appreciated. My husband's frostbite was severe. The nurse here helped keep it maintained, and the office had the supplies to maintain it at home. The items offered are always appreciated and needed, and the staff here are easy to talk to and have many times helped us get through a rough day. Another person said, SafeLink has helped my life in tremendous ways. Not only are they, people are texting me as I'm trying to read this. SafeLink Alberta has helped me my life in tremendous ways. Not only are they very insightful and always so eager to help, I've come to SafeLink at times for a safe haven away from the madness in my life. The medical help I received last winter has stopped me from losing my fingers and hands. They have impacted my life in the most positive way. We're known on a first-name basis, and they're amazing to my dogs that I bring in with me. Thank you for making this place possible for all of us less fortunate. Another one shared, SafeLink is somewhere to socialize and feel a part of the community with no judgment. I feel very welcome here and know that people understand where I'm coming from. I'm on a limited income, and the free supplies have allowed me to use safely, and the information offered helped me to make safer/better choices. And the last quote, it means a lot. I relied on most of these services for grounding, safety, and comfort. Without socks and snacks and clean supplies, I would be in constant pain and even fighting sickness or disease. Thank you. So stories like these show that what we provide goes far beyond just the supplies. People consistently tell us, like, this is the only place where I feel like I matter. This is the place where not everyone has given up on us. It's more than coffee, it's community. We hear that like on a daily basis. So your support, everyone here in this room in CFSCA, it directly contributed to building that sense of community. So thank you very much. Thank you. Through this project, we learned and we were reminded of a few important things. The smallest items can have tremendous impact. A pair of socks, a fruit cup, cup coffee, sterile supply kit, these things can change the trajectory of someone's day or even save a life. Secondly, people thrive when they feel seen and respected. Over and over, participants said that what mattered most was being welcomed without judgment. And thirdly, demand is rising faster than resources. The number of people seeking basic needs supports continues to exceed what's available in the community. So sustainable partnerships like this one are essential. In closing, on behalf of SafeLink Alberta, our staff, and especially the 197 individuals who walked through our doors because there was nowhere else for them to go at that time, thank you. CFSCA's support didn't just fund supplies, it helped preserve safety, dignity, and connection for some of the most marginalized members of our community. We look forward to continuing our work together in building a healthier, more inclusive Medicine Hat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marie, just for sharing how your project continues to provide hope and comfort for the underserved in our community. So at this point, I would now like to present the donor advised funds. So Julie, would you please join me again in introducing our donors and the organizations that they support?
Wow, what testimonials. And how fortunate we are. We don't realize, do we? Yeah, thank you, all of you, for your presentations and the work you do in our community. It's amazing. I'm in awe. We honor you, all of you. So just a word about process and our donor-advised funds, if I could. We hold numerous donor-advised funds and designated funds, and these funds allow our donors to make a charitable contribution to their endowment as frequently as they want, and they receive an immediate tax return, so that those things are their choice as they move along. They then recommend grants to one or more charities for their fund year after year. Today, we have 3 donor-advised fund holders who will be presenting their grant to the charity they have chosen. So just about the process, if I could, because there'll be people coming and going here. We'll ask the donor-advised fund holder to come forward, and then they'll distribute the funds to the charities, who can then also come forward, so don't run away. And then when they come and get their recognition, can you stay long enough to get a picture? Otherwise, I'll be calling you back and saying, come back here, we didn't get a picture before you leave. So are you good with that? Okay, well, first then I'd like to invite Drew Barnes forward. Drew and Francis Barnes, longtime supporters. And Drew will he will distribute a total of $9,230 from the Barnes Family Fund for this year. And 4 of those charities are with us today. So the first one is Ilsa van der Westerhuizen. I don't know, I worried about this. I practiced it, but Thank you. And Christine Benson, if Christine's here as well. Thank you. From the Nurture Pregnancy Center. And they're here to accept a $3,000 grant from the Barnes Family Fund. So now that you're here at the front, and we thank you so much, we will give you these envelopes and we will ask for a picture with Drew. That's great. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Now you can go. Thank you. Now, if I could ask April Jones from the Medicine Hat SPCA. Oh, that's better. Now you can see better. If April, here she is. Hi, April. And April will accept a $2,000 amount from the Barnes Family Fund. Great. Thank you, Karen. And now, Gary McFarland and Karen Saffron. I know Karen's here. I saw her. From Praxis Science Outreach Society. And they're going to accept a $2,000 amount from, again, the Barnes Family Fund.
We're sitting right beside each other. Thanks for all
Great, thank you, Praxis. And finally, if I could, Sarah Reimer and Jason Nelson from Big Brothers Big Sisters, would you please come forward to accept $1,000 from the Barnes Family Fund? Thank you as well to your wonderful organization. Drew, before you leave, I'm almost scared to ask, but did you want to say just a few words about your fund? A few?
Julie, thank you very, very much. Just briefly, a special thanks to the people that we just gave the checks to for doing the hard work, the everyday work that makes Medicine Hat such a great place to live. But I also especially want to thank the Community Foundation, from the president to Nikki and all the employees. My wife Frances and I have given for several years now, and you guys have made it so easy for us to do this. You've made it so easy for this money to get to those who need it. So thank you all, and God bless all the work you do.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Drew. Now, if I could ask Karen to come back up to the podium. And she'll distribute from the Lewell Family Fund for 2 agencies today. Could we invite Gary McFarland from Praxis Science Outreach Society to come forward to accept a $4,960 grant from the Lewell Family Fund? Thank you, Gary. And now, Tracy, it's your turn. Tracy Muchler, the Executive Director from McMahon Youth, Family and Community Services. I knew you were there somewhere, Tracy. And Anna, oh dear. Over here. Okay. I'm going to learn to say your name if it kills me. I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to be rude. From the Boost Youth Advisory Committee at McMahon, to receive a $1,000 grant from the Lewell Family Fund. Thank you, Karen. Karen, did you want to say a few words?
When my husband and I moved here 20 years ago, one of the first things that we did, I think, was figure out, well, how are we going to, do just our usual Christmas donation? And we heard about the community fund, and we thought, well, this seems like a good thing. Let's put it all in one place, and then eventually spread it out. And I didn't think I didn't even think at the time that we'd see the day when we got to distribute it, but now we have, and it's fantastic. We're really proud of all the organizations in the community and happy that we can support them. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. And one more, so exciting. Could we invite Daniel Scogan and Bill Cooper from Sunrise Rotary Club to the front? They're way over there, so we'll give you a chance to weave your way around. These two folks are distributing from the Les Erickson Memorial Fund to the YMCA of Southeastern Alberta to support their Camp Jude program. So if we could ask Sharon Hayward to come forward and Jody Engbert. I'm not very good with names today. Both from the YMCA Southeastern Alberta to come forward and accept a $1,660 grant from the Sunrise Rotary Club, which from that is Les Erickson Memorial Fund. Thank you, Sunrise Rotary. Now, finally, and then you'll be rid of me, I'd like to ask Emily to come back. Emily, as I told you earlier, is the Grants and Communications Coordinator, and also Jesse Prince, relatively new member to our board, and he's taken on responsibility for the Grants Committee, and Jamie Nelson, Grants Committee member, to present the Fall 2025 Community Grants. Very exciting. All right, we welcome you.
All right. Again, good afternoon, everyone. So today we are pleased to announce that we are distributing $199,877 to 24 organizations through our community grants program this fall. So community grants are made possible by Field of Interest funds, which allow donors to choose an area of interest to support, as well as from donors who allocate their donations to the greatest needs across southeastern Alberta. Donors can create a fund, donate regularly, or make a one-time contribution to support the Community Grants Fund. So please join me in thanking our amazing donors who choose to support community grants. So when reviewing the many grant applications, our grants committee considered the whole region, the overall impact of the project, our vital signs priority areas, and the funds available as they reviewed 38 applications total. So I'd like to recognize the grants committee members. Again, if you're here, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then since our organization, the Community Foundation, covers such a wide geographical area, we also relied on our 4 rural advisory committees to review the applications for their respective areas. So that would be Brookson District, the County of 40 Mile, Prairie Crocus, which includes special areas 2, I guess it would be 2, 3, 4, and then the MD of Acadia, and Cypress County. All 4 committees will be holding separate local events to celebrate their recipients. And now I'm going to hand it off to Jesse Prince, who is the chair of our grants committee, and he will announce the recipients from Medicine Hat and Redcliffe. So please come forward to the front when we announce your name to accept your grant package, and we'll take a picture with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. So our first grant will be for the Southeastern Alberta Search and Rescue Association for their project Operation Life Command Communication and Rescue Enhancement for $14,000. The Southeastern Alberta Search and Rescue Association's project will upgrade their search and rescue capabilities across southeastern Alberta. Their 100% volunteer team response to missing persons, medical emergencies, and high-risk incidents in remote, challenging terrain Oh, I read that wrong. They do that in remote, challenging terrain. The project modernizes their mobile command post with digital mapping and dispatch systems, enhances field communications with long-range radios, GPS, and satellite devices, expands aerial drone coverage with thermal imaging and extended flight time, and improves aquatic search with sonar and navigation upgrades for their jet boat. So up here is Tanya McKenzie to accept the grant, I believe. Yes. Next up is the Habitat for Humanity Southern Alberta for their Medicine Hat Southland build for $10,000. I'm just going to go ahead and read about it, okay? Habitat for Humanity Southern Alberta is launching the Medicine Hat Southland Build, a community-driven project that will create 2 new affordable homes for local families with a volunteer-led chapter established in Medicine Hat. And Habitat will raise the remaining project funds through local partnerships, sponsorships, and government support to construct a duplex in Southlands Drive. Next, we will have Careers, the Next Generation Foundation, for their future-ready, work-integrated learning and Southeast Alberta Youth Program for $2,500. Careers, the Next Generation Foundation is expanding work-integrated learning opportunities for youth ages 15 to 24 across southeastern Alberta to help address high youth unemployment rates. Through school presentations, career fairs, digital outreach, and one-on-one employer engagement, the program connects young people to meaningful internships in high-demand fields, including the trades, technologies, and skilled sectors where local employers continue to experience shortages. Next, we have Red Cliff Action Society for Youth for their digital access and safety enhancement project for $8,773. The Red Cliff Action Society for Youth, commonly known as the Red Cliff Youth Center, is a vital hub supporting vulnerable youth ages 10 to 17 through inclusive programs focused on life skills, connection, mental wellness, and early intervention. The Digital Access and Safety Enhancement Project strengthens this essential work by addressing 2 urgent needs: upgraded technology and enhanced facility security. Next, we have Unison at Viner Center for their community kitchen program for $8,500. Unison at Viner Center's community kitchen program will support vulnerable and low-income seniors in Medicine Hat by providing hands-on cooking sessions that build confidence, nutrition skills, and connection. Delivered in partnership with the Root Cellar Food and Wellness Hub, the program will run 8 monthly sessions throughout the year, each including 4 small group kitchen gatherings at the Viner Center. Up to 6 seniors per gathering will participate, reaching 48 unique individuals. Next, we have the Closer to Home Community Services Society for their Medicine Hat's in-care home for $10,000. Closer to Home Community Services operates Medicine Hat's in-care home, a safe and supportive living space for 6 vulnerable kids and youth who are at risk of homelessness and facing challenges such as family breakdown, poverty, unstable housing, trauma, and even human trafficking. To ensure their home remains warm and safe and stable, especially during Alberta's harsh winters, this grant will replace the home's 24-year-old furnace, which has surpassed its lifespan and poses a high risk of failure. Next, we have Big Brothers Big Sisters Association of Medicine Hat and District for their capacity building for rural Southeast Alberta project for $15,000. Big Brothers Big Sisters Association of Medicine Hat and District is strengthening mentorship opportunities for youth across rural southeastern Alberta. The This initiative expands their rural staff capacity to meet growing demand in communities including Brooks and District, the County of 40 Mile, Cypress County, and Prairie Crocus, including special areas 2, 3, 4, and the MD of Acadia. Next, we have the Medicine Hat Public School Division for their Giskakimoen 2026 project for $5,000. Medicine Hat Public School Division's Giskakimoen 2026 project, meaning sharing good teachings, is a culturally immersive learning experience that brings Indigenous teachings, traditions, and knowledge to more than 800 grade 4 and grade 10 students. Hosted at Medicine Hat College, the week-long event invites students to learn inside Cree teepees and participate in hands-on sessions led by elders, knowledge keepers, community partners, and local presenters. Next, we have Everactive Schools for resettlement through recreation leadership for $5,800. Everactive Schools Resettlement Through Recreation Leadership Project supports newcomer youth in Brooks, Medicine Hat, and Red Cliff by helping them build confidence, leadership skills, and a stronger sense of belonging in their communities. Through leadership training cohorts and a series of hands-on recreation and community engagement experiences, youth ages 13 to 18 are equipped with the tools they need to thrive socially, emotionally, and academically. Next, we have Alberta Ballet for their Alberta Ballet Outreach Classes for Medicine Hat Youth project for $13,158. Alberta Ballet's outreach classes for Medicine Hat youth will expand free accessible ballet programming for children and teens across the community. Building on their successful pilot at George Davidson Elementary and community classes at Medicine Hat College's Cultural Center, the 2026 program will offer 2 8-week sessions of beginner and intermediate ballet classes for youth ages 7 to 17. Next is Medicine Hat SPCA for their emergency boarding project for $3,000. The Medicine Hat SPCA's emergency boarding program provides short-term compassionate care for pets whose owners are facing crisis situations such as hospitalization, domestic violence, sudden loss of housing, natural disasters, or entering recovery programs. Co-created with our community foundation in 2022, this program ensures pets can be safely housed at the SPCA for up to 10 days and longer when circumstances require. This allows individuals to focus on stabilizing their lives without the fear of surrendering a beloved companion. Next, we have Shortgrass Library System for their You Belong, a Musical Experience for Children project for $8,800. Shortgrass Library System's You Belong, a Musical Experience for Children will bring award-nominated artist Sika Sings to all 14 member libraries across southeastern Alberta as part of their 2026 summer reading program. This interactive musical experience invites children to sing, dance, and explore multiculturalism through diverse musical styles, supporting language development, motor skills, and social emotional learning in a fun, engaging environment. Next is Our Collective Journey for their Youth Resilience Through Art and Motion project for $13,625. This program supports vulnerable youth across Medicine Hat by providing accessible, creative, and movement-based programs that build confidence, emotional regulation skills, and a sense of belonging. Through partnerships with local artists, wellness practitioners, and community organizations, the program offers a series of free workshops in painting, drawing, music, dance, and physical activity, each designed to help youth process stress, strengthen coping strategies, and connect with positive role models. We'd also like to highlight the community grants awarded across the southeastern Alberta rural regions. In Prairie Crocus, which covers the special areas in the MD of Acadia, their grants include Neutral Hills Community Adult Learning Society for their project, The Community Care Cupboard, Hannah Food Bank Association for their project, Immigrant and Multi-Generational Needs, the Oyen and District Senior Citizen Association for electrical kitchen renovations, Project Reach for their mental health capacity building initiative in schools. And all of those grants awarded in special areas in MD of Acadia total $29,500. Community grants awarded in Cypress County include the Eagle Butte Parent Association to replace the bleachers of the Eagle Butte High School, and Dunmore Equestrian Society to improve accessibility to their washrooms for a total of $15,000. Community grants awarded in Brooks and District include Prairie Rose Hospice Palliative Care Society for comfort care enhancements, Brooks and District Women's Safe Shelter Society for their New Roots volunteer initiative. Scandia Community Center for their March 2026 center renovations, and Crossroads Clinic Association for their newcomer PAP and prenatal program for a total of $29,075. Finally, the County of 40 Mile awarded a grant to the Bow Island Golden Age Club for their AED installation and bus service project. These grants will be presented in their respective communities. Emily?
Emily and I are going to tag team closing remarks just because I wanted to share some really exciting projects we have on the go. First of all, I want to thank some of the youth and philanthropy participants who joined us from Crescent Heights High School. Youth and philanthropy is a program where youth get engaged to research the needs in their community and those respective organizations who are working to address those needs. So thank you so much for attending. I hope you found it valuable. Lauren Sandlove is here. She was an employee, but now she's a consultant. She's sitting there. She is helping us in leading a project where we will be developing a charitable status toolkit for organizations and societies to get their charitable status with CRA and to keep compliant. So stay tuned for that. And she's also leading some accessible professional development for nonprofit staff and volunteers across the region. We'll have some in-person and some virtual sessions going on. So also stay tuned for that. Yeah, and thank you all so much for working to strengthen our community. Is because of all of these organizations that we have an inclusive and welcoming community in Medicine Hat. And Emily, anything to add?
Yeah, and nothing huge to add other than that I just want to thank all of our speakers, our donors, all of our grant recipients. Again, what Nikki said, you guys are the true heroes in our community. And then just overall community supporters for joining us. Also a big thank you to the Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club for the warm venue and the delicious food. And then thank you again to JMH for sponsoring this inspiring event. Just lastly, we'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our donors who entrust us to be the caretakers of their giving, the volunteers who also work to support the various moving parts of the Community Foundation, and then again to our community partners who are tackling the region's challenges. And then again, our ambassadors who continue to build on our strengths. Together, we're impacting the generations of tomorrow, so we really appreciate you. And thanks so much for coming out.